All right, so what do we have here? We're working in the shop today, and we're working on a 2000 Audi A8 L. Now, this is a standard A8, except the L version makes it extra long, so it's got some extra wheelbase to it. But the basic premise of what I want to talk about today is the same. It looks like a big mess, doesn't it? Looks like we got into an accident here in the shop. So this Audi is the 4.2 V8. It's a very powerful engine, very complex engine, and what you can see, or what you can't see, is this is a very difficult car to work on. If you're used to working on a Toyota, or a Mazda, or a Subaru or something, there's not a lot of similarities, and work on your own risk. I've done a few of these, so I've become a little comfortable. This car is in the service position, and what that means is the camshafts aren't keyed, so you have to have a special bar to hold the camshafts, and there's a special pin that goes into the crankshaft so you can work on the engine without it rotating. And the problem with this car was the check engine light was on, it was misfiring on this complete bank of cylinders. And if you look close, you've got a crankshaft that feeds a timing belt. The timing belt runs a sprocket on each side, but it's dual overhead cams. There's a chain that connects each of the dual overhead cams, and there's a little shoe or a guide there that broke or rotted away and was causing the engine basically to be in VTEC mode or high RPM mode at idle. And so it was causing the check engine light to flash, running problems, and a bunch of other issues. The fix for that is to put a new chain tensioner on. And you can see I've got it clamped here in my clamp. These yellow things, let me focus in on that a little bit, right here, are the shoes that are missing there. So that caused the chain to go slack and the timing to go bonkers. So I've got to replace this tensioner. It goes in there just like this. In fact, I'm going to set it right on top. You can see the electrical connection here, the electrical connection there. And that's where it goes. But to do that, you got to remove the cams. And to remove the cams, you can't just simply pop the valve cover off and replace the cams. You've got to put the car into the service position, which means the whole front of the car has got to come off. The bumper, the headlights, the radiator, the air conditioning. It's a big job. It's a little intimidating. As well as you got to hold everything while you take the cam belt off so that you can loosen the cams up to get that part in there. This has two of those chain tensioners. There's the driver's side one, which is here on the front side of the engine, and the passenger side one, which is that bump back there. So there's two of them. Luckily, this car is only experiencing problems on this side. Unluckily for the owner, this is a huge job. Huge job. This service position you have to put the car into is applicable for changing the alternator. He's got a torn motor mount here, so to change that, you'd have to put it in service position. The water pump, the thermostat, the timing belt, any of the oil seals. Anytime you have to work on the front of the engine, you got to pull the whole car down. It's kind of a bummer. So there we are. That's what we're doing today. It's nitty-gritty, and I'm sorry I'm not showing you step by step. That you're going to have to figure out on your own, although it's actually not too bad. The key bolts are here in the corner, which attach to the fenders, and there's bolts up underneath the bumper brackets, and then these bumper brackets on the front, which poke right through there, all have to come off to get the front of the car off, as well as you got to drain the radiator. And so when I'm in here, I'm going to change the serpentine belt. I'll probably change the timing belt again, even though we've done this car not that long ago. It's such a big job to get in here, and then I'll put the tensioner back in, and hopefully all will be good. So that's what I'm doing today. Again, this is a 2000 Audi A8 L. Show you. It has the 4.2 V8. So it's the 4.2 A8 L. And pretty amazing car when they're working good, but when they're not, it can be a big job to work on some of the engine stuff. Just take your time and go slow. That's my recommendation. It'll be worth it in the long run. All right, thanks again for watching my video and subscribing and just giving me the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Have a great day, and let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. All right, as an added bonus, I thought I'd do a little addendum to this video and show you what's going on here. So we're working on a 2000 Audi A8. This is the L version, but I just replaced the variable valve timing tensioner. You can see the chain there now has a big shoe across it like it's supposed to. You have to take both cams out to get that, and you got to make sure when you go back together there's a little tiny arrow on each of the cam caps that has to line up with the notch in the cam. I don't think I can focus in on that, but let's see. I painted it in white. Oh, come on. There, see that? And there's a notch on the cam in there. If those are not aligned up when you put it back together, you're in big trouble. And you can see I've got my cam bar. Keeps the cams in perfect alignment. The sprockets are not a good indication of where the cam belt is like a normal car, because these, you can see they're just tapered. The cam pulley can spin on there. You've actually got to have the tool that lines up the pegs, and these pegs are different sizes too. There's a large one on the outside and a narrow one on the inside. So some more tips for you. I will show you what the old tensioner looked like. I got it sitting over here on the bench. This is one of the old shoes that I found laying in the bottom of the head, and you can see the cam chain was totally sawing through that part of the tensioner. That's the upper part, and then the lower part, and it actually did a little damage to the head as well. Didn't cut through, but so this is what the tensioner looks like with 100,000 miles on it. Again, this is a 2000 Audi. Ooh, let's see if I can focus. And check engine light was on, and all the cylinders on this bank were misfiring at idle. If you rev it up, and it would smooth out, and that's because the tensioner and/or the shoes have gone bad. It's a big job. So I am on day 3, I believe, 2.5 or 3, and now I'm starting to go back together. So it's going to get a new cam belt, a new motor mount right there. Here it is right here. It just basically broke in half. I took it apart, and a new serpentine belt, and anything else while we're in here. Oil change, check the water pump. I'll check all the idlers, the alternator, because I don't want to do this one time. All right, thanks for hanging in there and bearing with me, and maybe I'll take a video when the car's all done, show you how good it runs. Thanks for watching.